Welcome back. Yesterday we had some stories about spiders. Remember, we had the itsy bitsy spider that went up the water spout, and then the rain washed that spider out, and then the sun dried up all the rain, and the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the spout again. Well, today we're going to have two new spider stories, and one of them has that same spider that was in our story yesterday. Do you remember Miss Spider, who was looking for her mom, and then she found the Betty the beetle who loved her? Well, this is another story about her. Look at all of those insects in there. Lots of bugs. Did you know that spiders like to eat bugs? Isn't that silly? I wouldn't like to eat bugs, would you? Let's see what happens. This is little Miss Spider's tea party. One lonely spider sipped her tea while gazing at the sky. She watched the insects on the leaves and many flying by. If I had friends like these, she sighed, who'd stay a while with me, I'd sit them down on silken chairs and serve them cakes and tea. She wishes she had some friends to have a tea party with. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Two timid beetles, Ike and May, crept from the woodwork that same day. But when Miss Spider begged, could you please stay, they said, oh no, and they dashed away. Three fireflies flew inside that night, their spirits high, their tails aflight. They spied the web and they squeaked in fear, we'd better get away from here. The little trio did not feel that they'd care to be a spider's meal. I think the bugs were afraid of her because usually spiders eat insects. Do you think that's why? So they didn't want to stay for a tea party. Four bumblebees buzzed by outside. Come to tea, Miss Spider cried. The four ignored her, swaying there. She waved a tea towel in the air. She took a cup and tapped the glass. Then one bee spoke to her at last. We would be fools to take our tea with anyone so spidery. I think they're afraid that she might eat them for lunch, aren't you? But she just wants to have friends. Within the shadows of the room, just peeking from behind a broom, 5 grinning faces bobbed and peered. Miss Spider smiled, her heart was cheered. Descending from a closer look, she danced into the gloomy nook, but sadly found those jolly mugs belonged, alas, to toy rubber bugs. They weren't real at all, they were just toys. She thought she finally had some friends to have tea with her. Some ants strode in. They numbered 6, but ants with spiders do not mix. She brewed them tea from hips of roses. The proud platoon turned up their noses. They didn't want to have tea with a spider because they thought they might become her lunch or her dinner. A fine bouquet concealed its prize of 7 dainty butterflies. Miss Spider, watching them from the wall, was not aware of them at all. Aren't they beautiful? Do you see the spiders? Do you see the butterflies? They look so beautiful on those flowers. The tea table was set for 8, with saucers, cups, and silver plates. The cakes were fresh, the service gleamed, yet no one would arrive, it seemed. Her company in no demand left her cup empty in her hand. Oh, poor Miss Spider, I feel so bad. She wants to have a party. 9 spotted moths, kept safe and warm in shelter from a thunderstorm, stood beneath an open sash and watched the jagged lightning flash. Miss Spider dropped down on a thread, a silver tray upon her head. She hoped to please them, but instead, do you think they're going to stay? Let's see what happens. They all flew away in mortal dread. They said, oh no, a spider, let's get out of here. Poor Miss Spider. Oh, look how sad she looks. They've left me all alone, she cried. She dabbed her eyes and said, sadly sighed. It's plain no bug will ever stay. Her tears splashed down upon her tray. Poor spider, so sad no one will have tea with her. 10 tiny steaming cups of tea were perched atop her trembling knee. That means it was kind of shaking a little. She sipped and sobbed and heard a cough. She turned to see a small wet moth, a fragile thing so soaked by rain, his wings too damp to fly again. Oh, the poor little moth needed help. Do you think the spider will help him? She smiled and took a checkered cloth to cloak the frail and thankful moth. They talked and snacked on tea and pie until his tiny wings were dry, and then lifting him with tender care, she tossed him gently in the air. She was a good friend to that little moth, wasn't she? He didn't have to be afraid. The moth told Ike and then told May, who went from bug to say, there's no reason for alarm. She's never meant us any harm. So later on that afternoon, assembled in the dining room, 11 insects came to tea to share Miss Spider's courtesy. They all came to her party. Isn't that great? She looked so happy. 12 tender violets in a vase presented at Miss Spider's place, set by her chair so neatly spun. She munched the blossoms one by one. Her friends were glad to watch her feast upon the floral centerpiece. It was a great relief to see she ate just flowers and drank just tea. Miss Spider's reputation grew before long. Our hostess knew that each bug who crawled or hopped or flew, and all of their children too. She became their friend, and they became her friend, because she was a friendly spider. And the spider and all of the insects lived happily ever after. Now we have one more spider story today, and it's a spider story song, and it's a song we can sing together. And it's about this little spider who's going to go on the floor and maybe on my foot or on my knee. Let's see where he goes. Hi, little spider. And it's called There's a Spider on the Floor, and you can help me sing it. There's a... Oh, my spider is all tangled up. Let's see if I can untangle him. There he is. There's a spider on the floor, on the floor. There's a spider on the floor, on the floor. There's a spider on the floor. Who could ask for any more than a spider on the floor, on the floor? Now the spider's on my leg, on my leg. Oh, the spider's on my leg, on my leg. Oh, he's really, really big, this old spider on my leg. There's a spider on my leg, on my leg. Now the spider's on my stomach, on my stomach. Oh, the spider's on my stomach, on my stomach. Oh, he's just a big old lummox, this old spider on my stomach. There's a spider on my stomach, on my stomach. Where's he gonna go next? The spider's on my neck, on my neck. Oh, there's a spider on my neck, on my neck. I'm gonna be a wreck. I've got a spider on my neck. There's a spider on my neck, on my neck. Now the spider's on my face, on my face. Woo! There's a spider on my face, on my face. Oh, what a big disgrace. Debbie's got a spider on her face. There's a spider on my face, on my face. Now the spider's on my head, on my head. There's a spider on my head, on my head. Oh, I wish that it wasn't there, that old spider on my head. There's a spider on my head, on my head. He jumps dust off. There's a spider on the floor, on the floor. There's a spider on the floor, on the floor. Who could ask for any more than a spider on the floor? There's a spider on the floor, on the floor. But he's a friendly spider. So I hope you have a day filled with friendly spiders and sunshine. And I'll see you next time. Bye, friends.